Oh, okay. All right. Call the Mayville Common Council meeting order at 7 p.m. Please take the roll.
Alderman Baker.
Here.
Alderman Smith.
Here.
Alderman Schmidt.
Here.
Alderman Newman.
Here.
Alderperson Olson.
Here.
Alderman Leigh is excused. We have a quorum.
All right, please stand for pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, is there any citizen comments tonight? All right, seeing none. Agenda changes. Is there any agenda changes? All right. Consent agenda. All right, report of officers. Mayor's report. Well, Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a good holiday season and are being safe. I know the flu bug is going around the county as we enter 2025. This past month, I have attended a number of meetings around the new wastewater treatment facility. The council has approved the $31 million project to upgrade the plant. This month, the council will be looking into two-part pay rate increase. The proposal is a 60% increase in the next month and a 30 to 40% increase in 2026. The average resident will see around $16 increase in the next few months. After speaking with our financial representatives about the loan, we are seeking the second part of the rate increase will be between 30 and 40%, depending on the reserve funds we need to put aside for overruns for the next facility and funds we will be paying from our cash reserves. The city council will also be looking at approving over $3 million in water well upgrades to well 2, 3, and 5. This will lead to an additional water rate increase that the Utility Commission has been approved by the Wisconsin Public Service Commission for information to come. With all these improvements and upgrades, the Mayville City Council has decided to look at overhauling the Mayville Utility Commission. The council will determine what that looks like going forward in the number of representatives on the commission. After witnessing how the current Utility Commission has approved $1.8 million in design work for the new plant upgrade without taking out bids, along with the new RFPs for the plant upgrade without approval from the City Council, and finally spending over $3 million in water upgrades, I keep asking myself, who is looking out for the taxpayer? When businesses and industry come into our city, and relocating to our city, one of the top questions they ask is, what are your sewer and water rates? Like it or not, we're in competition with surrounding communities on a number of resources, this being just one of many. Mayville needs a lot of upgrades on a lot of different facilities, equipment and maintenance issues. However, we do not spend $50 million at once achieving these tasks. we typically come up with financial plan and determine the length on spending money here and there over time to achieve these goals. So yes, I am in support of more oversight on the utility commission as long as the number of commissioners is 7, like other Mayville commissions and boards. As we close out Mayville's 2024 budget, the city has come a long way since I was elected back in April. In the first 90 days, we had to hire a city clerk, deputy clerk, city treasurer, city administrator, and utility clerk. This has not been an easy task for any company, let alone a city. The next 90 days, we entered the 2025 budget with a new city treasurer and city administrator. We went back to the old budget process on timelines and came up with a budget that was balanced and was not tied to a deficit. We had the budget approved on time and tax bills went out early. Now, I'm not going to tell you we didn't have some issues and bumps along the way. However, things at the city are back on track as we enter 2025. I want to thank the entire city staff, from the city administrator down to the part-time janitors, for all their hard work and dedication towards our city. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope everyone has a blessed and prosperous new year, and I hope to see you around town. This is my mayor's report. All right, administrator's report.
Okay, good evening. Update on the administrative functions of the city. I implemented the new insurance policies effective January 1, 2025. If you know, we went with the League of Wisconsin Municipalities. This includes onboarding for our cybersecurity, training, implementing an employee safety training program, distributing the vehicle insurance cards for all the vehicles, and continuing to set up beneficial services for the city that is offered through the League insurance. I worked with Elevated Municipal Consulting to draft a new contract that has budget constraints within the contract, and also to make sure there's a statement of work that's most beneficial for your comptroller going forward. I also worked on IT services. I received 3 proposals from Rhyme, Interquest, and Genesis. I vetted the proposals for the IT hardware that is needed for the city, fixing the current voice over IP phone system, and providing a cost-effective IT service on a day-to-day basis for the city. I drafted a construction management RFP for the wastewater treatment plant for your consideration tonight. I started the 2025 road projects according to your capital improvement plan. I worked with Jack, Courtney, and with Nick. The meetings I attended over the last month was library board on December 12th and on January 9th. Plan commission meeting on December 18th, special common council meeting on December 19th, utility commission on January 7th, met with TSB Financial on December 12th with Nicole. I met with John Cameron from Ellers regarding the sewer rate study on December 19th. Webinars I attended the onboarding for Ready Rebound. This is a service that's provided through the League Insurance and it assists employees in receiving medical treatment on a timely schedule. This service is available through the League Insurance, like I said. On December 10th, I attended the OSHA 300 log webinar. I attended the League virtual member roundtable. The topic of discussion for that meeting was the Act 10 and what's to expect coming forward. December 12th, I attended the end of year wrap up on employee benefits. December 19th, I attended the Civic Systems payroll year-end webinar and projects in progress. I reached out to the League of Wisconsin Municipalities attorney and obtained example policies that possibly the Common Council, if they want to, they could consider establishing authority of the Utility Commission, and this would be policy that is important for the Common Council to adopt in order to set powers and duties of the Utility Commission. I working on sending out an RFP for the comprehensive plan, and I'm starting a bonding process with Ellers for the 2025-26 borrowing. Staffing updates, the library has had 3 staff resignations in the last 2 months. And the library has hired a cleaner and front desk person, and Tag Center has hired 2 part-time employees over the last month. upcoming tasks, 2024 budget amendment that we will need to consider at the next meeting, and also 2024 shelter maintenance capital improvement project that was not completed in 2024, and how we want to carry that forward to the 2025 budget. That is all I have for tonight. Thank you.
That's quite enough.
Considering we had the holidays in there too.
All right, thank you. City Clerk?
All right, so my office continues to tie up 2024 as we look forward to elections already again. And also liquor licensing season will be just around the corner. Tomorrow, January 14th, is the state's deadline to provide the county with certification of candidates. I will know at that time if we need to hold a primary, but it does appear it's going to happen as there are 3 candidates for the state superintendent of public instructions race. So we will have a partisan primary on February 18th. My office is already preparing for that primary as the turnaround time is very short, so we need to get everything in place and move fast. In-person absentee voting for that primary will be February 4th and goes through February 14th. As far as our aldermanic wards that are up for election in the spring, our candidates are as follows. In Ward 1, Alderman Baker is running again. Ward 3 will not have any candidates on the ballot, and Ward 5 has Alderman Newman running again. For anyone who may be interested in running as a registered write-in for any of our aldermanic districts that are up for re-election, they will need to turn in the campaign finance paperwork to my office by 12 p.m. on March 28th, the Friday before the spring election.
All right, thank you. All right, Clerk, November 2024 monthly check register and approval of the bills. Cole, you got anything that you want to say about the bills?
We did pay the Dayton Street Road project that was approved in November for $56,000. We did receive November's shared revenue payment, $636,505, and a supplemental aid of $199,247, as well as our cable franchise revenue and $7,256. And in regards to payables, I gave the department heads until February 14th to hand in any payables that they would like to be accounted for in the year of 2024.
All right, you guys had a chance to review the bills. Is there any questions? I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to.
Motion by Smith,
Second.
second by Schmidt. Any discussion? Please take the roll.
Alderperson Smith,
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Aye.
Alderperson DeBaker.
Aye.
Alderperson Newman,
Aye.
Alderperson Olson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Comptroller Treasurer monthly report.
All right, so this, the 2024 January settlement has been, tax settlement has been processed. In December, we collected about $3.8 million in real estate taxes and also approximately $1,100 in special assessments, $468 of special charges, and about $32,000 in delinquent utilities. I dropped out the school districts to tax settlement this afternoon, and I mailed out Marine Parks this morning. They're all due to their districts by the 16th of this week. I filed our 2024 sales and use tax for the year. Next year is going to be quarterly. The fourth quarter 941 has been filed. 1099s have been filed and mailed out this morning, and the W-2s have been completed. I have to download them tomorrow morning, and then I'll have them mailed out to all the employees.
Thank you.
And that's the first time in 2 years.
First time in 2 years, the 941.
Okay, thanks. Wastewater Commission, next meeting is February 4th at 6 p.m. Library next meeting is February 13th at 6 p.m. Public Works Committee, January 27th at 6 p.m. Personnel Committee, next meeting is January 27th at 6 p.m. Public Safety Committee, January 27th at 6 p.m. Finance Committee is January 27th at 6 p.m. Park, Rec, and Tag Center Commission, next meeting is February 5th at 3:30 p.m. Planning Commission, next meeting dates January 22nd at 4 p.m. Community Development Authority, next meeting date is January 22nd at 5 PM. Old business, discuss with possible action, ordinance 1144-2024, an ordinance to repeal and replace section 22-9A of the municipal code of the city of Mayville, Utilities Commission membership. All right, now I'll open that up for discussion.
And this is the one, should we choose to pass it, a effective date will need to be decided as to when that membership changes. If you want to do it at the organizational meeting right away,
Right, do you have a resolution or,
I do have the ordinance. Do you want me to read it?
sure?
The Common Council of the City of Mayville, Dodge County, Wisconsin does ordain as follows. Section 1. Section 22-9A entitled Membership of the Municipal Code of Mayville is hereby repealed and replaced to read as follows. Section 22-9A Membership. The membership shall consist of 7 members appointed by the mayor. 4 members shall be older persons, 3 citizen members. The 4 older person appointments shall be appointed annually by the mayor at the organizational meeting. The 3 citizen members shall be appointed by the mayor subject to confirmation by the Common Council for staggered 5-year terms commencing October 1st of each year. If a vacancy occurs, the membership shall be appointed by the mayor subject to confirmation by the Common Council to complete the term. Section 2, severability. If any provision of this ordinance is invalid or unconstitutional, or if the application of this ordinance to any person or circumstance is invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect the other provisions or applications of this ordinance, which can be given effect without the invalid or unconstitutional provisions or applications.
All right, so this is the clerk's interpretation of what you guys wanted at the last couple of meetings, so I guess it's 2 parts, right? One, you gotta create or decide on when this is gonna take effect, and the other portion is as written, or you're gonna amend it. All right, open it up.
Well, in the absence of the rush to the microphone, I will comment, I guess. I think it would be awkward to replace or rename the people at least in the next month. I mean, by the time we have to confirm them at the next meeting anyway, so it's either gonna be before the organizational meeting, a month or 2, or it's gonna be immediately. I think immediately would be a little awkward. I don't know. I'm not on the Water Commission anymore, so, and one of the members of the Water Commission is absent right now. The other member is here. What do you think?
I think I like how it was read, 4 aldermen, 3 citizens. And I see nothing wrong with that. It's 7, it goes across the board. I was a little stingent last time by wanting
I'm talking
all
about when it
aldermen.
takes effect.
And I would take it effective immediately and just take care of business and get it done.
I'll ask the administrator, who is the de facto parliamentarian here, if the way it's written, does it imply that they will be, it kind of implies subject to approval by the council. So we'd have to have a special meeting or something. I would think if we would have it done immediately, wouldn't we? Because it requires a replacement of several.
Well, when I hear done immediately, that would be when the mayor makes his recommendation to council immediately at the next meeting then for
Okay,
approval.
so it would be another meeting from now. Okay. You have any other?
Yes, I do have a comment, but this doesn't really have to do with the ordinance. It does have to do in addition, because the membership is just changing how the board is comprised, but your real problem is your powers and duties. So that is something I would recommend that you come back with also, and that's, tonight is 9A, and 9B is where you would put your authorization that you would give to the utility commission. One, they should be making recommendations to the common council, so they have that, they know what their authority is in the operations, the day-to-day operations of the utility commission. But when it comes to these projects, and when it comes to certain things, that the common council should be making the final decision on that. And I think that's something that we need to vet out, and what authority you want the utility commission to have, so we don't have this miscommunication going forward.
Right, that's always been a bone of contention. I think it was, some people felt it was one way and some people felt it was the other, but you're right, if you spell it out, that makes more sense.
Because it does say in B, by policies established by council, but you don't really have a policy.
Okay, so on the first part, I guess that would be A, right? Does anybody have anything? I just brought it up for discussion. Anybody else have any ideas about the makeup or the effective date of this change? We already passed this, I guess. There was some talk of, I think, 4 aldermen and 3 citizens. Well, that means if one is missing, I thought that 7 is kind of an awkward number when you get 4 of them being aldermen. But I thought maybe, somebody mentioned, what if we had the mayor as an active or voting member? That's a possibility, I guess. I don't know if it's practical or not. I think the mayor brought it up, that it might be possible. He does sit on the planning commission. He's the chairman of the planning commission.
I think it's more appropriate if we have it in our rules that the mayor sits in as a member of any committee or board in case someone's absent.
A voting member?
Well, at the county, they do this. The county chairman sits in on committees and commissions and boards if they don't have a quorum.
Right.
So he just acts on their behalf until the next meeting when they have a quorum.
We'd have to get that language cleared, but I think that makes sense to say that if there's if one of the councilmen is not available, the mayor doesn't have to be
So that
shall.
would have to change an ordinance.
Yeah, we'd have to change that ordinance. That takes a little while longer again. I don't know, anybody else have any feelings? It's a little awkward. We can try this
Or in
now.
the event of a tie. Then the mayor would be the tiebreaker in that as well, correct?
Well, they handle ties now. There still will be a chairman of the Water and Wastewater Committee, I would think.
Yeah, you'd have to have a chairman.
And sometimes they do have an even number, so, how do they handle ties now?
Like any board, if someone's missing and you have an even number, if there's a tie.
The tie means it fails, yeah.
And that could happen on any board or commission if
Okay.
all of a sudden someone's absent, you're stuck with an even number of individuals.
I don't know, I think we have there was a need for contemplation of a change in this because we had this frustration over what Stephanie brought up about policy and who works for who, or who gets to decide. And I think this clears that up. The makeup, the ordinance will be written and voted on, the next meeting, is that right? It'll go before, the public hearing will be for the next meeting?
No, this is get passed tonight.
This is,
This is the second reading of this
The
ordinance.
B portion probably should go on a committee of personnel next 2 weeks from now for discussion. And there's gonna have to be another introduction.
all right. So you're looking at if it passes tonight, you're planning on making changes as the mayor to the commission. But the question is still, what about absent members and the lack of a quorum, right?
No, I think the main issue is setting a time on when the commission's gonna expire and the new commission's gonna be enacted.
The appointment, when these new changes will take effect.
You said a month, he said immediately. That's all we got right now. Anybody else? Someone needs to make the motion or something.
Well, do you have, well, let me ask another question. Do you have any citizens who have asked to be appointed?
No, I'd have to go out and, canvass the ones that we have in place and then go outside.
Right? And have you, by changing, you understand, this implies that you are going to, is your plan to dismiss all, I hate to use that word after the last year we had here, but is your plan to dismiss all citizen members and reappoint? Or what is your, how are you planning to do this physically?
Well, I guess I'll have to make that decision after you guys decide what you want to do here. Because if I have to do this immediately, it's gonna
Feel a little
require
awkward, yeah,
it's gonna require some effort.
yeah. Well, you're not afraid of effort. That's, for that reason, just the mechanics of it, I think we ought to enact it at the next council meeting, if possible. That would be my, just,
Is that a motion?
that's a motion.
Motion to accept as read the ordinance, with the amendment, right? Of Mr. Smith's amendment to have the terms expire next month. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by the Baker. Any more discussion? Like, take the roll.
Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Baker,
Aye.
Alderman Schmidt,
No.
Alderman Newman,
Aye.
Alderperson Olson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thanks. All right, discuss with possible action ordinance 1143-2024, an ordinance creating 22-16 of the municipal code of the city of Mayville, codifying the community development authority / enhancement committee. We're just adding the enhancement portion on to the ordinance. For a motion,
I'll make the motion.
for a second,
I'll second that.
motion by Smith, second by Newman. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. All right, discuss the possible action extending Forest Drive for potential residential housing. All right, so we did get a bunch of pricing back from Kunkel on this. The cost was about $1.5 million for about 25 lots. That comes out to about $64,000 per lot. If we get the grant from the county, that drops it down to $32,000 a lot. But then we're gonna probably have to offer some incentives for builders to build. That, I figured probably half of that. And if we build all the houses all in 1 year, we get our money back in 8 years. But the problem is, it's gonna probably take 5 years before everything gets built out. So that puts basically a return on our investment, that's gonna take about 15 years.
This would be a TID? They can't do a TID on this?
No, so
That's a shame.
that's another problem. So,
Why would we need an incentive with the housing market the way it is?
Well, who's gonna pay $64,000 for a lot that normally sells for $20,000 in this town to put up a $300,000 house?
part of the problem is that the county, we have to apply for the county for this grant, and the county is gonna want a return on their investments quicker than later too. So we have to give some confidence.
Okay,
But, you know, honestly, doing the numbers doesn't really make sense. You'd be better off trying to get a bigger parcel of land and put the utilities or improvements in, and then try to work our way with the county on that.
We haven't got
And
any,
this doesn't include the purchase of the land either.
no,
So-
we haven't got any developer interested on this yet. Well, this land's been for sale for a while.
Right. Well, I think that we have a couple of people interested, but, you know, I just don't think this is cost effective. I mean, when it was $1 million price tag, and we're getting half of it back from the county, it looked pretty doable. But, you know, spending $1.5 million on 25 lots, now we're looking at maybe we need a bigger parcel of property to try to build out more lots, or at least do it in phases.
Well, it doesn't qualify for TIF financing because it's got no, commercial
Right.
aspect or industrial.
We need it attached to commercial industry, and we
Yeah.
can't get the industry
Out there,
to
yeah.
to put up with it. That's the problem with that property.
Sounds like you're recommending to dump your own proposal here.
Well, we were just gonna talk about it, but after we get the numbers back from Kunkel on what they think it's gonna be, right now, I'll leave it up to, I'll talk to the administrator, we talked a little bit about it, I don't know what your feeling on it.
is this time sensitive or can we table it?
We could table it, but we're gonna have a meeting with the county here at the end of the month about this new program for incentives. We'll have more information, but, you know, this doesn't look like it's doable. Just for the cost aspect of it. I mean, if we were gonna try to get our money out of this in 10 years, maybe it would work, but 15, we're not pushing it.
And we can't annex anything across Dunn Road or anything alongside there that would make it.
Right, because at one point, we might have been able to do that to get the industry, so we could actually do a TIF, but not an option anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, that's what we thought way back 6, 7 years ago, that property would be developed when we had annexation possibilities.
okay.
I'll make a motion to table this.
Or you want to make a motion to have it live,
Have a look,
have it live so we can bring it up later on at a different date.
however you want to word it. Bring it up when we have more information.
All right, so Olson makes a motion to keep it
That's a new term to me. Leave it by then.
live.
Layover.
I'll second.
All right.
Layover.
Motion made and seconded to have it laid over. Motion by Olson, second by Newman. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. New business, approve the minutes of December 9th, 2024 common council meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Smith, second by Newman. Any additions or corrections? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve the minutes of December 19th, 2024 special common council meeting. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Olson,
Second.
second by Newman. Any discussion, or corrections, additions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discuss with possible action the temporary Class B fermented malt beverage licensing. It's applicant Mayville Lions Club. Events Mayville Lions polka dances, April 12th, May 10th, and June 14th, 2025.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All right, motion by Smith, second by Schmidt. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Discuss with possible action, resolution 5959-2025, establish the 2025 garbage recycling rates. You should have that in your packet, the new rates. so we don't get behind like we have been. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Smith, second by Olson. Any discussion? Take the roll on this one.
Alderperson Smith,
Aye.
Alderperson Olson,
Aye.
Alderperson Newman,
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Aye.
Alderperson Baker.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, discuss with possible action resolution 5961-2025, cash in lieu of health insurance policy. This one here, we've had some new information come forward today, actually. So if we want to lay this one over as well, so we can have some more information.
Okay, we'll fly this one down too until we have the other information.
All right,
I'll make a motion.
motion by Olson, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Newman. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Discuss with possible action, resolution 5962-2025, appointment to the zoning board of appeals. Please read.
Whereas in accordance with Municipal Code 22-2, the mayor shall appoint to the zoning board of appeals subject to confirmation of the common council for 3-year terms. And whereas the terms of Alderperson Michael Schmidt and Alderperson Anthony DeBaker will expire January 31st, 2025. And whereas it is the recommendation of the mayor to appoint Alderperson Bob Smith and reappoint Alderperson Anthony DeBaker to the zoning board of appeals with terms expiring January 31st, 2028. And now therefore be it resolved that the common council of the city of Mayville does hereby approve the above-mentioned mayoral appointments to the zoning board of appeals.
All right, is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Olson. For second.
I will second it.
Second by Newman. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, discuss with possible action, resolution 5963-2025, dedication on May 10th, 2025 as International Migrant Bird Day. Please read.
Whereas the common council of the city of Mayville does hereby approves and dedicates May 10th, 2025 as International Migratory Bird Day. The known celebration in the city of Mayville is the Horicon Marsh Bird Festival, which will be held May 9th through May 11th, 2025. Many birding events take place throughout the weekend in various stops along the marsh, including the Horicon Marsh. And now therefore be it resolved that the common council of the city of Mayville does hereby proclaim May 10th, 2025 as International Migratory Bird Day and urges all citizens to celebrate this observance and support efforts to protect and conserve migratory birds and their habitats in our community and the world at large.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Newman. Second. Second by Schmidt. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discuss with possible action the site plan review for the City of Mayville wastewater treatment facility, locations 400 Tukoski, parcel number 251/16-1442-000.
I think,
First
did you
is
miss
the
12B? 12H,
sewer
rather?
rate study.
Oh, sorry. Sewer rate study, discuss possible action. You guys should have that in your packet about the projected full sewer rate increase. If you want to say anything about that, Mrs. Administrator.
So at the wastewater utility commission meeting, they approved or recommended to the council to approve the 2025 rate increase only and to review actual costs in 2026 before you implement the 2026 rate increase. So the 2025 would be approximate dollar change of $14 for your average residential user.
I think that's a good idea.
We don't really have a choice, but, okay.
Okay.
All right, is that a motion?
Yes, that's a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion by Olson, second by Newman, to approve the 2025 rates study. Is there any more discussion? Take the roll.
Alderperson Olson,
Aye.
Alderperson Newman,
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Aye.
Alderperson Smith,
Aye.
Alderperson Baker.
Aye.
Motion carries.
When will that go into effect?
I want to say,
Next one.
Courtney, do you know offhand when the 2025 rate goes into effect?
Whatever council decides on doing, so.
oh, so we have to set a time frame?
Any suggestions?
It's needed for financing, so probably like yesterday, but.
Next month,
right.
probably.
Yeah,
Well, let's,
it has to be a council action to actually vote for the rate increase, so I guess.
right. Who made the motion?
Alderperson Olson.
Would you like to amend your motion to add, starting effect,
Next billing cycle.
which is,
All right,
what's the next billing cycle, February 1st or March 1st?
Well, it'll be January 29th will be the read date, so January 30th.
Okay, January 30th.
all right. This is, amended to the cycle beginning January 30th.
All right. Who seconded it? Newman?
I'll second that.
All right. Okay, take the roll again.
Alderperson Olson.
Aye.
Alderperson Newman.
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt. Alderperson Smith.
Aye.
Alderperson Baker.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Discuss with possible action the site plan review for City of Mayville wastewater treatment facility. Parcel 251-1216-1442-000. All right. You guys have an opportunity to look at the site plan. This is on a recommendation from planning. Is there a motion?
Did the planning commission recommend the site plan as it was presented to it?
With the recommendations from Kunkel that are in your packet. So, you know, it's
So
basic
the
ones
changes are already in the,
Counselor, was it?
from Kunkel for the site plan.
okay.
Yeah, they reviewed the site plan
Yeah.
and made some
Nick
recommendations,
reviewed it, so they made a couple of changes.
that the plan commission.
All right, I'll make the motion to approve it.
All right, motion by Smith. Second by Schmidt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Discuss with possible action issuing a request for proposals for construction management services of the wastewater treatment plant upgrade project. Okay. Who wants to start on this one?
I can start with it.
Sure.
Okay, so the construction management portion would, have to deal with being the eyes for the city, working with the contractor and representing the city that the construction process moves forward as the schedule of time frame within the budgeted amount. Currently, the wastewater utility has recommended contracting with MSA for the services. It is also the choice of the common council if they do not want to go with that recommendation, that they could send it out for RFP. There's a schedule within the RFP that I drafted, so we'd send it out tomorrow, and it would be approximately mid-March by the time you could actually award the contract to a construction manager. So it does, with the project starting approximately in April, it does set you back a little bit on that project. So if you want to send it out with RFP, that is your choice, or if you want to award the contract to MSA, at that time we can negotiate with MSA. They do have a budget amount in their cost category for this project of 1.2 million. That does not mean that that's their quote from MSA, so we definitely can negotiate with them at this time yet. The contract has not been awarded. They were awarded the design portion of the project, but the construction management portion needs to be contracted with.
Okay.
Well, Ken, I'm a little, maybe you can help, but I'm a little unclear about this. I had 4 years' experience doing this with the city of Brookfield, same kind of stuff with inspection contracts. Generally, we have tried to avoid, maybe MSA, is somebody here from that? Yeah. He's sitting behind so-and-so over there. But generally, you don't really have anybody who's hired by the contractor doing the inspections, because you want to be arm's length, you want to be a disinterested third party inspecting the work. It's generally just good practice. However, and if I could vote for this, if somebody would assure me that that's the case with this, but I understand the actual contractor is the same name as our local construction company, let's see, Town and Country. But I don't know if it's a conflict of interest for the project, the guy who's got the project to hire the guy to inspect their work. I mean, that sometimes can cause problems.
I like it.
Somebody totally different has to do the inspection, that I'm gonna stick to.
So if there is a,
Well, I think we're a little mixed up here, right? So the CD Smith got the bid for
oh,
the
C.D. Smith got,
Right.
okay, yeah.
MSA did the design work. We're looking at the inspection service portion of it. Now, do you want the inspector, not the inspector, do you want the designer to also do the inspection or not? That's what we're talking about.
No.
When I looked at it, I thought it might be a conflict of interest. I don't know. Ken, what did you think? You were close to this the whole time?
So if you would send it out for RFP, you would still, that, let's say it is, MSA could also send in a proposal to do the construction management. And if it is somebody else besides MSA, they would probably list MSA as their sub-consultant, because the person that does the design work has to, explain or has the knowledge of what the design, what the contractor should be doing. So they still would be involved with the project. And they could also be, after you send it all out for proposals, they still could be
Do
awarded.
you think this needs, as an administrator, do you think this needs RFPs, or do you think this is okay as it was recommended by the Water Commission?
I believe it was okay the way it was recommended.
Okay.
There was miscommunication with the council. I think the communication could have been much clearer.
Well, I'm thinking that if it's gonna cost, if they already gave us a quote of $1.2 million,
That's their budget number.
well, that's $223 an hour. It's a 31-month project. I mean, I think we can get a better price than $223.
And the block on that, or add on to that, I think it's okay to look outside. I'm not saying like I said, I have nothing against MSA. A project this big, if you could save a dollar here, dollar there, I'm all for it. So,
Well,
and it's not gonna back up the project like 2 years or anything. So,
yeah, inspection work is about half the cost of legal fees. It's generally in the area of $100, $120 an hour, but I don't know, it doesn't seem that far off. But like Stephanie said, it's not a hard number, and it's not even a quote based on time and materials. It's just a budget estimate. So maybe we should get proposals. That's what you recommend, right, Stephanie?
I wouldn't recommend negotiating with MSA and contracting with them with give me a dollar amount. Right now, they're at 4.6% of your project cost. Typical construction management for a project this size is around 9 to 10%.
No, that's not necessarily true. Typically, they do the design and inspection work is about 15% of the entire project. That's where that number comes from. So the 1.8 and the 1.2 is about where that number is.
Well, I started off the conversation by saying I'm lost. I didn't understand it. Guess what? I understand it less now.
Well, we got two options. We take the recommendation of the utility commission, or we take all our RFPs and see where they come in at.
I'd like to see us negotiate with MSA, and if we don't like the number, then we go with the outside.
But we're kind of up against it here because the time we take out RFPs and stuff,
It's gotta be either or.
we wanna break out in April. So kind of up against it.
But there is room for negotiating with MSA, correct?
I feel there is.
Well, the whole nature of our recent history with the water, wastewater and the sewage plant has been to be up against it every time we have to make a decision. I don't like to be up against it every single time.
I don't like it either. I think we should go and take RFPs.
I'll throw a motion out there, take RFPs.
Motion by Newman to take out RFPs. Is there a second? Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Smith. Any discussion? Take the roll.
Alderperson Newman,
Aye.
Alderperson Smith,
Aye.
Alderperson DeBaker.
Nay.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Nay.
Alderperson Olson.
Nay.
Motion fails.
All right. So is there a motion to negotiate, I guess?
I'll make the motion to go with MSA as long as they'll allow negotiating. And am I getting too far ahead to say that somebody else would have to do the inspecting?
No, I
No, you
think,
can't do that
listen,
because
it's
you're-
kind of confusing how you just said that, so I think if you're gonna do this, you need to say, hey, you know, make a motion that Stephanie, goes in negotiation with MSA and see if they can come up with a better price.
With a hard number, yeah.
And if we have to have a special town council meeting, that's what we'll do.
Okay, so at what part,
We can't go back to RFP. If you are asking MSA to show their hand, then we can't go out for RFP. That would definitely file a protest then by MSA. Because then they have unfair disadvantage to then submitting a proposal through RFP.
Well, why is that?
Because they showed their hand, what their
They
price would
showed you
be.
the hand, they didn't show anybody in the public your hand. You could actually have it where you could have a confidential, disclosure agreement that you'd have to sign, so you can't disclose it to anybody.
Okay.
Kim, are you still doing some kind of motion here, or what are we doing?
I am still gonna keep my motion the same as long as MSA will do whatever Stephanie and MSA can do any kind of negotiating. I'm gonna stay with that.
Okay, so this is what I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong. You make a motion that the city administrator enters in negotiation with MSA to see if they come up with a better price for the inspection services for the wastewater treatment facility. Is there a second? Second. Second by Schmidt. Any discussion? Take the roll.
Alderperson Olson,
I,
Alderperson Schmidt,
Aye.
Alderperson Smith,
Aye.
Alderperson DeBaker.
Aye.
Alderperson Newman.
Nay.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. All right, discuss with possible action the site plan review for City of Mayville well number 3, parcel 251-1216-2312-036.
I think we skipped one again.
we have it on here twice.
Clean Water Fund Administration Contracts.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Discuss with possible action Clean Water Fund administrative contract with MSA Professional Service for the water/wastewater treatment plant upgrade project. You get something drafted on this?
We did, that was the handout, correct, Stephanie?
This is the contract is from MSA. So
You want to just explain it?
Utility Commission had recommended contracting with MSA. This contract would MSA would be responsible for finishing the administration of the Clean Water Fund and also to the prevailing wage or Davis Bacon portion of the construction project.
Okay,
Make a motion.
motion by Newman,
Second.
second by Schmidt.
To approve?
Yes.
Any discussion? Take the roll.
Alderperson Newman?
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt?
Aye.
Alderperson Smith?
Aye.
Alderperson Baker?
Aye.
Alderperson Olson?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, discuss the possible action, the site plan review for the city of Mayville, well, number 3, parcel 251-1216-2312-036. Is there a motion resolution on this?
No, there's not a resolution. It was recommended from Planned Commission, contingent upon the recommendations of Kunkel.
Okay. This is, well, number 3, is that the one over off of John?
On Walnut Street.
Oh, Walnut Street. All right, this is where we're gonna be extending out 10 feet or something?
Yeah, that's the only one with any external additions on.
Okay. Is there a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion to approve it.
Motion by Olson. Is there a second?
Second then.
Second by the Baker. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question for you guys. Is this the one that they're adding to garage to it, or is this a different one?
No, it's a different one. They're adding like,
Okay, this, never mind.
right, this is the one planning commission looked at it. They're gonna be going from the south wall out by 6 feet or something.
Or, yeah, just to accommodate the chemicals that are.
Right, I remember that.
Right, so we're gonna have to put in the footings and the wall.
Then I have no questions.
All righty. Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Discuss the possible action bids received for well 2, 3, and 5. This is on a recommendation from the utility commission, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Olson, is there a second? Second. Second by Schmidt. Any discussion? Courtney, what are we doing on this one?
Well, 2, 3, and 5 are all of our noted deficiencies in the 3 remaining wells. So that's to get it up to DNR standard, separate chemicals, fix collapsing iron filters that are breaking through and exploding chemical systems. The roof lines, all the roofs need to be repaired and the scales replaced in all of them as well.
Okay, anybody else got any questions?
Wasn't there some discussion about, on the commission, I just remembered some of the minutes about doing them one at a time, and then somebody recommended we can save money by doing them all together. And I think one of them includes a garage added onto the side of it, doesn't it?
There's no garage.
Okay, all right. But that, wasn't that the question, whether we do them all at once or do them one at a time or something?
Yeah, is that, did you have discussion on that, doing them once or all? at once?
About a year ago, it was decided on the Water Wastewater Commission to go with 3 because you were saving about probably 15 to 20,000 per closing on the safe drinking water loans. The bid has taken us 3. And the construction costs are lower than bidding at 3 times as well and keeping the people on site.
And we already raised the water rates to account for the funds, right?
There may be at that time, within a year, simplified, which is up to the 3%.
Okay, so this was passed about April of last year or something?
Yeah,
Okay, that's one of the last meeting, before the last meeting out there. Okay. Ken, you weren't around between that, were you?
No,
Do you have any feelings on this consolidation of all 3?
it makes sense. On the dollar side of it, there was some discussion in the wastewater meeting that they were wants instead of needs and, needs instead of wants, but it's much needed.
Okay, so that those objections or concerns are cleared up now?
Correct.
In your mind? Okay. Then I have no more questions.
How come it take so long for it to come to council?
I don't know.
Okay,
I think it's the policy that we spoke of.
Yeah, there's miscommunication all the way around, different, obviously, mayor, different issues, but now, obviously, we voted on that tonight to change it around, and clean it up.
all right. Any more discussion? Take the roll.
Alderperson Olson,
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Aye.
Alderperson Smith,
Aye.
Alderperson Baker.
Aye.
Alderperson Newman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, discuss with possible action, construction service for well 2, 3, and 5. You don't have a resolution on this either. This is a contract with MSA.
No, it's a contract with Town and Country
Oh.
to do the construction
Is that in the
management.
packet?
Yes.
So in the packet, you got the Town and Country's gonna do inspection work. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. Motion by Schmidt, or not Schmidt, Smith, second by DeBaker. Any more discussion? Take the roll.
Alderperson Smith,
Aye.
Alderperson Baker.
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Aye.
Alderperson Newman,
Aye.
Alderperson Olson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Discuss with possible action, elevated municipal consulting contract. All right, this is with, Cameron, the firm that's helping out, Nicole on some treasure stuff. Is it in the packet? I know we were
Yes, it's
working
in the
on it.
packet. What I,
It
What
was
I have
handed out
worked-
supplementally, sorry.
oh.
We had the
supplemental
final
was already done.
revised
I
version.
was gonna say,
So I worked with Cameron because the Common Council has put a budget number with this consulting with the comptroller. So this is a 6-month contract that would expire on June 30th of 2025, and it is not to exceed $15,000.
What was that amount again?
$15,000. And we've changed some of the scope of work, whereas Nicole will be doing the work schedules and will be working with Cameron that way on what she needs to the things that she needs to have completed.
My couple of questions I have is just the billing part of it, 125 an hour, is that industry standard?
I don't know, that was,
Unfortunately, yes.
I think originally his per hour was higher than that. I think it was at $250.
Okay.
Just
So,
235.
since I came on board, he's reduced it. And so,
That's all I was asking, 125 and then 75 for data entry. And then the payment terms, isn't it usually a 90-day turnaround on municipality stuff?
30 days.
30, this is 15 with the invoice date. So that's a pretty high turnaround for.
It usually is.
You can change that to 30.
Right, that's all I'm bringing up, that was my red flags in the contract.
I had other red flags that,
There was a couple other too, but yeah.
Well, let's bring them up now.
I have no problem with Cameron, he knows what he's doing, and he was sorely needed when we got him. My only question is, we've had, I call them crutches, we've had all these, sickage, we had, our auditor come in with a crew to help us out. We've had all kinds of people and contracts with people who were supposed to be babysitting our finances and our whatever, and I understand we had all kinds of new people, and I hope, is this renewable, number one? If 6 months doesn't get it done?
Correct.
correct, at 6 months, then we'll
Okay.
talk and
And number two, do you, in your personal opinion, you two over there, think this will once and for all fix it?
it's-
Or are we gonna need a babysitter?
this is why
forever.
I put the budget constraint number on there, because last year it was $74,000 for this firm. And that is getting to the number where you're better off having a
Set
an
a firm.
employee.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That is somebody that's here working every day with Nicole. And I just feel that it's tasking on your comptroller when she is asked to work after hours and weekends. She puts in a full weeks of work, and it's just not the communication with Nicole that she needs to get her job done, and not the communication with me that I'm want to see when the city is working towards improving and correcting and fixing. I'm not seeing that. So,
That's, you answered my questions, I'm happy.
And
I'm never
eventually,
happy, but.
I'd like to see Cameron in the role of coming in every quarter and looking over the books for a security notch in
Yeah,
our,
we discussed that
So-
before.
and he did say that he would be obviously willing to do that.
That's what we used to have with Baker Tilly, but they
Correct.
seem to have stopped offering that. And it was kind of a conflict of interest too.
Yeah, they'd be auditing their own work.
Right.
Yeah, their own
So
work.
Nicole, do you think he's gonna be needed past June?
we can't make that
Yeah,
determination
that's,
at this
that's kind of
time.
the,
Okay.
right, you know, then I
We
would have
don't
been here a
know.
year. And,
All right, so.
This sounds like a
wait and
much better fix than all the other things we've tried, so.
All right, what do you want to do with this? You want to amend it, or you want to approve it as is?
see. I have one more question. Were you comfortable, Stephanie, with the limitation on damages and indemnification?
Yes.
Okay,
So, did anybody make a motion yet?
not yet.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second. Motion by Schmidt, second by Smith.
Backwards, you got it.
Whatever. Close enough. That's what I heard.
Both
All
names start
right,
the same.
any other discussion? Take the roll.
Alderperson Smith,
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Aye.
Alderperson DeBaker.
Aye.
Alderperson Newman,
Aye.
Alderperson Olson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, discuss with possible action IT service for the city of Mayville. Is there a resolution on that?
No.
All right, go ahead,
That is-
talk about it.
Okay, I've been working on the IT, situation with this, for the city since I started in June. We are in a perfect storm, so, I just wouldn't want to see the city be hacked or, ransomed. So I have vetted 3 vendors, Rhyme, Interquest out of Beaver Dam, and then Genesis from a local, from Mabel here. Rhyme and Interquest are your managed IT services, so they would provide your services on a monthly basis, and they would manage your IT services. Currently, the hardware for Mabel does not allow for managed IT services, so I would recommend, that's why I'm recommending Genesis, to work with Justin on a day-by-day, hour-by-hour. He can bill you instead of on a monthly basis, he would bill you on monthly, to get our hardware up to speed, to make sure that we have our IT or our hardware, that we can actually manage our IT. And then at that time, he could, and Justin can also fix our voice over IP system that is not working. We have terrible reception
That was
here.
my next question.
So that is why it is not really comparable. The other ones were $5,000, $7,000 a month for your managed IT, whereas Justin's hour by hour, whenever we need him, he's willing to work with us for the first month because we don't have a lot in the budget for our hardware, and that way,
Did you happen to mention what his hourly rate is?
you can ask him. The
Oh,
first-
you're hiding. Hi, I remember you.
Yes, I am 150 an hour.
Okay,
And we do offer the managed IT services as well, but that did not seem like it was the most appropriate thing for the situation the city's in right now.
okay. All
This
right.
doesn't
So
do
you're,
anything for our
so,
whole system, does it?
What's that?
This doesn't do anything for repairing our owl system or replacing.
Well, he could.
How much do you know about these owls, Justin?
Is it a security system? Or-
It's the,
Oh, these guys, oh, okay, sure. I haven't worked with that specific brand, but I've done a lot of video conferencing for, different,
For a new pair, it's $900. I was snooping around on
ooh, boy. Well,
online.
we can most likely get things working for a lot less than that, so.
All right, so
I'm
you're recommending,
gonna make a motion to, have Justin come on board. And when do we wanna start this?
I would say immediately because you will not want
All right,
another IT person in your system at this time.
okay. Then I'll make that motion to have Justin begin with our IT system and phones and whatever is needed, ASAP.
Second that.
all right, motion by Olson, second by DeBaker. Any discussion? Are you gonna have a contract drafted or,
Yes.
so we'll have a contract drafted to come back to council for approval
Okay,
on top of this.
okay.
Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, or actually, let's take a
We're gonna have
roll
to
on
take
this.
roll.
Alderperson Olson.
Aye.
Alderperson DeBaker.
Aye.
Alderperson Smith.
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Alderperson Newman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Thank you. All right, discuss with possible action, pay request number 2, final for the 2024 asphalt paving and milling projects for Dayton Street. Northeast cable, amount is 2967.97. Is there a motion?
Motion. I'll second it.
Who made the motion, Schmidt? Motion by Schmidt, second by Newman.
Third by Baker.
All right, any discussion? All right, take the roll.
Alderperson Schmidt. Alderperson Newman.
Aye.
Alderperson Olson.
Aye.
Alderperson Smith.
Aye.
Alderperson DeBaker.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Review with possible action the 2025 Main Street Naval and Naval Chamber of Commerce contracts. All right, so this happened to come up when we were signing off on some of this paperwork. But one of the things is that when the attorney drafted up the contract, and he drafted it up the way it looks right, the problem is that there's an appendix to the or exhibit to the contract. And there's this law called the Public Purchase Doctrine. And it basically says you guys should have a handle. It basically says that you can give out public funds, but it has to be for the general good for the public. In a lot of these contracts, they have service agreements put right in the contract. But it spells out, hey, this is the services you will provide, and that's fine. The problem I see, and the attorney looked at it, he thinks that we have it in our exhibit that, we're gonna, in each of the contracts, it says general administration, like we're paying for their administrative costs, which wouldn't be in compliance with the law.
Which would or would not.
One. So what I'm asking for is if we just strike out the word, general admission on both of them.
All right, where are we here? Where's general admission?
It's on the exhibit.
All right, so that is just an easy fix to cross that out.
I would think we just strike out the general admission on both of the contracts and then we leave it as is.
Okay.
So you want to make the motion or someone want to make motions?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Olson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Schmidt. Any more discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, discuss with possible action Madden Law Firm invoices for 2021 and 2024. Okay, so I did speak with Mr. Madden a couple times. So he hasn't been very timely on his bills. He's willing to waive 21 and 22 fees. exchange for paying for 23 and 24. Now granted, 21 and 22 wasn't a full year, but that's kind of what he's looking at.
I would like to.
But he also apologizes for not getting his bills. He's had some issues with staff and stuff, so he's not making excuses. He's had some issues, and he's willing to work with the council to make sure it's right. So that's where we're at.
Not only that, but we had one of the attorneys sitting in on all our meetings all the time, which we were paying for. Council did not request that. I felt we were being blindsided. So I'm okay if he's willing to negotiate on billing here. And I'll make that motion.
So I just wanted to say, for 2023, so you have, the attorneys have to write a letter when you have a financial audit stating, if there's any outstanding debt. So in 2023, as of December 31st, 2023, the city of Mayville was indebted to our firm in the amount of $37,881.20. This amount includes both billed and unbilled fees and expenses. That was part of your audit. So in 2023, we already did pay him $25,000. So I would recommend that we pay the outstanding portion of $12,000
For 23.
for 23, $12,826.23 for 23. And in 24, the portion is $15,140.37 for a total payment of $27,445.37.
And that's what you've determined would be fair and agreeable?
That would be paying for 2024's now, because Nolan did bill when he worked. This is just for Attorney Madden's invoices. And it's mostly for court cases and traffic for
23 and 24.
2023 and 2024.
So is that a recommendation?
That is my
All right,
recommendation.
so the administrator is recommending to pay for 23 and 24, $27,445.37.
Correct.
And Brian, you've been getting good service from them for your
Well,
traffic?
we did have some issues throughout the year, that I wasn't happy with, but I did sit down with Pat Madden last week. And, we went over a lot of those things, and I think we're gonna,
You have an understanding
we have an
now?
understanding, yeah, and we're gonna go through this year and, see how it goes.
I don't think we'll have a problem going forward with the billing. I think that he gets the picture.
Who's been dealing with our city business now?
This administrator decides on which one we want to use.
Well, do you need a motion or do you have one?
No, we don't have one yet.
I'll make a motion to
Motion by Smith,
pay that along in the manner that the city administrator described.
okay. Second. Second by Schmidt. Any discussion? Okay, take the roll.
Alderperson Smith.
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Alderperson Baker.
Aye.
Alderperson Newman.
Aye.
Alderperson Olson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, item 13. Closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.851F. Consider financial, medical, social, or personal histories or disciplinary data. A specific person, preliminary consideration of specific personal problems, or the investigation of charges against specific persons, I think where paragraph B applies, which if discussed in public would be likely to have a substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such historic or data or involved in such problems or investigation. Closed session is for the purpose of insurance release and subrogation. Your motion to go in the closed session. Motion by the Baker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Newman. Any discussion? Please take the roll.
Alderperson Baker. Alderperson Newman.
Aye.
Alderperson Olson.
Aye.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Alderperson Smith.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll
Okay.
proceed into closed session.
All right, Jeff's gonna hand us some information that we